Lehman Brothers did not die suddenly, it dissolved. For 158 years, Lehman survived wars, depressions, and financial panics. It outlived rivals, it adapted repeatedly. By 2007, Lehman Brothers was the fourth largest investment bank in the United States. From the outside, it looked powerful. From the inside, it was fragile. The common explanation is simple. Lehman took too much risk in subprime mortgages. That explanation is incomplete. Lehman's collapse was not caused by risk alone. It was caused by denial disguised as confidence. In the early 2000s, Wall Street changed. Investment banks no longer waited for opportunity. They manufactured it. Mortgage-backed securities, collateralized debt obligations, leverage layered on leverage. Lehman embraced this world aggressively. By 2006, Lehman was deeply exposed to real estate. More than its peers, it did not merely trade mortgage assets, it owned them. Office buildings, housing developments, commercial real estate. This was not ignorance, it was conviction. Lehman believed it understood real estate better than anyone else, and for a time, the numbers agreed. Profits surged, bonuses followed, internal doubt disappeared. Success does not just reward behavior, it silences opposition. Inside Lehman, warning signs appeared early. Risk managers raised concerns about leverage. Analysts questioned asset valuations. Competitors quietly reduced exposure. Lehman did the opposite. Why? Because reducing exposure would have meant admitting that past decisions were wrong, and institutions rarely admit error when the rewards are still flowing. Instead, Lehman relied on accounting techniques to maintain confidence. The most famous was Repo 105, a temporary transaction used to move debt off the balance sheet just long enough to report lower leverage. It was legal under specific interpretations. It was misleading in spirit. But legality was not the point. The point was perception. Lehman needed to look strong, to markets, to investors, to itself. As the housing market weakened in 2007, pressure increased. Bear Stearns collapsed in March 2008. That should have been the warning, it wasn't. Lehman's leadership believed Bear failed because of poor management, not because of systemic fragility. This belief was comforting and dangerous. By mid-2008, Lehman's real estate assets were losing value rapidly. Buyers disappeared. Confidence evaporated. Potential rescue deals emerged. Barclays, Bank of America, each required government backing. That backing never came. Unlike previous crises, regulators hesitated. They feared moral hazard. They feared public backlash. They believed markets needed a lesson. On September 15, 2008, Lehman Brothers filed for bankruptcy. It was the largest bankruptcy in US history. Markets froze, credit vanished, trust collapsed. The global financial system did not fail because Lehman was unique. It failed because Lehman revealed how interconnected everything had become. Lehman was not just a bank, it was a counterparty, a pillar, a signal. When it fell, no one knew who was safe. The aftermath was brutal. Employees lost jobs overnight, investors were wiped out, pension funds suffered, executives walked away with reputations destroyed, but few consequences. The system survived, individuals absorbed the cost. So what actually killed Lehman Brothers? Not greed alone, not mortgages alone, not even leverage alone. Lehman died because it confused confidence with control, because it believed complexity equaled mastery, because it mistook favorable conditions for permanent truth, because it refused to slow down when slowing down was the only rational move. This is the deeper lesson. Institutions rarely collapse when they become wrong. They collapse when they can no longer admit it. Lehman did not lack intelligence. It lacked restraint. And restraint is the first thing lost during long periods of success. Every era produces firms that believe they are different, smarter, better hedged, more sophisticated. Lehman Brothers reveals a quiet law of power. When survival depends on confidence, truth becomes negotiable. And when truth becomes negotiable, collapse becomes inevitable. The question is not whether another Lehman exists, but whether we will recognize it before confidence runs out again.